What comes up after next? Purple, I should know this by now. We've got the hot pink. And then we've got to go through our turquoise and see what comes after that. You know, if I were to just do the Google interpretation right after, I probably wouldn't have this issue. Going through, there's the green that we had, which is so pretty. Oh, we've got that silvery gray. Interesting color combo, I'd say. Hope everyone's been having a great day so far. I never know which is more important. Either, I mean, granted, the cards are more important, but here we are. I wish I could, stagnate that out. Of course, we are live, but for future reference, if anyone's coming across, it is 4/23, and the date is May 18th, 2026. This is a timeless story. It is meant to be for whenever it is that you come across it. Everyone's on different timelines, so things that people are experiencing now, someone a year from now can be experiencing it, right? And we just kind of move along in the same kind of pathway, just at different times. I did add a bunch of new cards, probably like 20, 25 different cards I've added in the last few days that I've been here. I did take 2 days off just because I wanted to get that Google one done. And of course, we all know my storage situation. We've got the banana split and the illusion here. Something's taking a split. Something's being divided. It's just the cherry on top. I probably should do a cherry card for that. We've got the frizzy hairdo. Something is out of control, not taken care of, dried out. Hard to maintain this rabbit mentality, hopping from place to place. I think I told you guys about my story about that rabbit that I thought I ran over. Thank goodness. I ended up having steel belt tire on my car, and had that rabbit not been looking back, I wouldn't have wondered if I ran something over, and then I wouldn't have found that the steel belt was showing, and I would have had a huge more of a hassle than just having to go and head to the tire shop the next day, have to say. We had the rabbit. I just forgot about, the split. And then we've got the illusion. So maybe there's going to be a break in this illusion. Some kind of out of control situation where someone was trying to pull the strings. Maybe that's being found out. See my finger? I had no idea I broke the tip of my finger until realizing it's not straight anymore. That was from, I can't tell if you can see. There was a neighbor dog that was coming after my dog, and the man kept letting his dog go to come back attack my dog again. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take hold of the man's dog and let him see. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to hold your dog back, and then you can hold my dog back, and then everyone's happy. But I broke my finger in the process because my hand was in the collar and it got twisted. We've got dimensions here. The dimensional plane of where do you live at? Are you here on the physical plane? Are you more of a person who kind of stems from the spiritual planes of like the 5D? Or do you kind of muster and kind of work towards the areas of the first and second dimensions where it's a little bit darker and a little more dense? The illusion is there. Maybe there's an illusion about the dimensions where people think they're just separate places of being, when in all actuality, it's all in one place. It's all here in one place. What were we taught? Are the things that we were taught the things that are true? Who's to say? I came across a video about the Ethiopian Bible, and there was a lot of different chapters in the Bible that were omitted. Of course, majority of people know that. I did take a class while I was in college, and it was The Life and Times of Jesus Christ. And it was mentioned in that class that there was a group of people who sat around and decided which books would be included in the Bible. And that was completely confirmed now that the Ethiopian Bible has been discovered. That is like on 24/7 guard. And come to find out, as we've been seeing trickling throughout the news, is that there has been books that have been omitted from the Bible that actually kind of change the way people would look at religion. So if they had included those books in the Bible, then people probably would be less inclined to be so giving to the church, and they would be more inclined to be just giving as a general state of mind. Coming from a place of love, it kind of solidifies what I've said in previous lives when I was talking about that, JC was not here to be a religion. He was here to be a point of consciousness. And I think that's why I teared up, because it's like, it confirms the fact that it's like the consciousness is being of love, being of awareness of the fact that what we do actually comes back to us. That what we do just doesn't go to someone and it just, if you're that type of person, destroy that person, but it in turn destroys yourself. So if you're that type of person, you may want to consider, or if you're not that type of person and you know someone who's that type of person, consider sharing the information with them. And I would certainly share that information in a way that they are being willing and accepting to maybe even hear it. Initially, it will take a few times for someone to be told the same thing before they even consider it to be a fact. But if you're that first person to kind of plant that seed, maybe when they hear it again, they're like, wow, this isn't the first time I've heard that. And maybe eventually they'll come to accept or even question the way that they're doing things. Who's to say? A lot of times, as I said before, a lot of times people do things because that's just the way that they were taught. They thought that that's just the normal way of doing things, when in actuality it is not. We've got honey, which is that sweetness, right? It gets kind of sticky sometimes, I know. And worm, being lured, being captured, being caught on a hook. As I was just saying, using that honey as far as a way to try to help other people with feeding their souls. In the Bible, it does say that, why give someone a fish when you can teach them how to fish? You don't want to just solve the problems. You want to teach others how to solve the problem. That's why they're saying when you're, parenting, it's like, don't just resolve the situation, but you've got to guide and lead our children on how to find and come up with their own solutions. Sometimes, unfortunately, parents lack the skills to do that, and then of course their children end up being a smaller version of the parent. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Sometimes people just don't have the tools. They didn't have it in their family. That's why they say it takes a village to raise children, because it's important for children to get every kind of perspective, so that way they can decide which perspective they're actually wanting to go in and who they're wanting to be. If you don't have positive or healthy mentors, it's easy just to fall in the footsteps of what you know. We've got the illusion with the worm. In this day and age, society always wants to kind of deliver that illusion of fear. I'm hearing of fear mostly, which is being controlled by the puppet strings of those who would much rather have you be in a place of fear than in love. The illusion coming out there again. I don't know how I'm going to deal with all these cards, actually. We've got the garden here and then the illusion there. Maybe the garden was also an illusion. It's a parable. You know, they are finding now that in different areas of the world, the actual truth of the garden, I think they said that they found the Garden of Eden, actually, of where it might have really been. I don't know how that compares with the Ethiopian Bible, though. I just hear bits and pieces of information. Holy smokes, folks. See, I got another new basket for my cards. I don't know how that's going to work out. And then I've got all these different cards in the back to clarify the different cards that are in here. So we'll see how that all goes. Bottom of the deck card we have is a decision. Somebody needs to make a decision. Mind over matter. Heart over matter. Hopefully it will be a equally balanced decision using your mind and your heart. Right? Split of the deck cards, we have an activity book. Someone could be connecting the dots, adding some color, providing more detail. We've got the number 6, could have something to do with family life, protection, harmony, high ideals, balance on earth, or finding balance here on earth. Love, deep emotions, the home, the emotions and the compassion connection, balance and wholeness, could have something to do with the Star of David, the balance in between the masculine and feminine, the earth and the sky, and all of the directions of the earth. North, south, east, west, up and down. We've got multiplied here. In case you're new, these are my oracle cards that I've made. They're in different stages. Some are colored, obviously. Some are not. Some are in pencil, and some are just plain, just the word there. They haven't even been done. Then we've got the piggy bank. Connecting the dots about somebody, the balance. Balance being multiplied in somebody's bank. Spiritual, earthly kind of finance, I would assume. There's a decision here about that. We've got the illusion card coming out again. We have a submarine card, something coming to the surface. This is also my Pisces card. Someone could have a Pisces in their life that has been causing some kind of illusion regarding somebody's finances. There could be some kind of family wealth that's involved, and someone's connecting the dots on that. Someone's adding some color to it. We've got music. This Pisces could enjoy music. There could be all the notes, all these different parts and pieces coming together to make a solidified sort of string of information that causes, that makes music. We've got the watermelon, can represent the springtime to summertime time period. We've got the ribbit here. How many frogs do you have to kiss to find a prince? I don't know. I haven't found it. Hopping from one lily pad to the next. We've got pill. Or should it be medicine? I don't know if that card should be pill or medicine. Probably, I don't know. Maybe subscription. Maybe this frog, this person that jumps from pad to pad is needing medicine. Maybe they have a subscription to something. Maybe they're working with the Pisces. Maybe because of the illusionment that they were under, that now they're realizing that jumping from pad to pad probably wasn't such a sweet deal after all, and now they need kind of medication because they were putting it in the wrong place, perhaps. That's unfortunate. We've got the frizzy. Now things are a little bit out of control. Maybe somebody is addicted to some kind of pills and it's getting out of control. Red Rover, send, I was going to say Bob right over. Billy Bob. It's that game that we used to play as kids where you call someone over, and if they break through the chains, then they can go back to the team that they were on. But if they can't break through those chains, they've got to stay with what was calling them. So this person could be trying to, let's just see what they're trying to do. They've been called over to these chains. It's something that they're trying to do, and they're going to keep going ahead and making it better. It's that first pancake. Your first pancake usually is not always going to work out, depending on the temperature of the fire or the griddle that you're using. If you put the batter on there too soon, then of course your first pancake's going to be super light and kind of like mushy. And if you put it on when it's too hot, then of course you might burn your first pancake, but then you know how to adjust it, right? So this person is probably trying to get through some kind of chain, some kind of blockage, some kind of something. Maybe they have a substance abuse problem and they're trying to break that problem. And maybe their first time that they tried to, so to speak, they now they need to adjust it. Or maybe somebody's medication is plain just needing to be adjusted. A lot of times they'll just prescribe people medications based on if you're a man or a woman. They don't really equate the fact. I could be wrong, but I don't think they usually equate the fact, like if you're like 4'11", or if you're like on the heavier side or the lighter side or the taller side. I don't know if they equate that in there, but there's balance to be seen here with the number 4 card. Whatever it is that they're doing, it's going to stable out. Could have something to do with an earth angel. This is also my Virgo card. So we've got the Virgo and we've got the Pisces here out on the table so far. We also have the month of June as well, and the 4th. So it could be June 4th. Someone could be 64. Someone could be 46. Could be April 6th. We've got the garden card coming out. These are the garden card, and the tools will be here. So the garden tools such as a rake, a shovel, a hoe, of those nature. This Virgo who acted innocent could have been kind of hoochie mama, considering jumping from lily pad to lily pad. Maybe someone assumed that somebody was that way. Maybe that's the pill that's hard to swallow. The fact that maybe they weren't like that. Forcing to be quiet could be an NDA. Could be someone threatening somebody. You better be quiet or else. We've got the dash here looking at this range of time. Also could be a minus symbol. We've got the traffic cone. Maybe there was some construction being done. Maybe someone was constructing this time frame here. Maybe they wanted to make it seem like someone was using substances or addicted to substances, and now this whole construction is out of control. They were forcing this little frog who was jumping from place to place to be quiet. They said, you're not allowed to say anything here. Interestingly enough, we've got the garden underneath the watermelon where the watermelon grows, right? Maybe this person is voluptuous, so to speak. Her melons. Or if it's a male, he's well endowed. A Pisces who likes music, who is well endowed. He was being manipulated by the powers that be, pulling the puppet strings to bounce and hop from lily pad to lily pad. Now they need medicine because it's out of control. We've got a few different little timelines or storylines going on here. They went wherever they were called to go, right? They had to adjust their way of doing things in regards to an Earth Angel or a Virgo for stability, who might have been a little hoochie mama. And now he can't talk about it, or she can't talk about it now, because that time frame was a work in progress, perhaps. We've got a hotel, something about a hotel. Maybe they used to meet, the Pisces and the Virgo used to meet at a hotel. It was a temporary kind of situation. We've got a worm here underneath this. Maybe they're going to try to lure somebody in a different way now. This is deep. This goes deep. There could be some kind of money connected to a submarine somehow. Money could also be connected to some kind of Navy operation. Some kind of military. We had this makeup upside down. Maybe someone's going to come in and say, you know what, I really want to make up with you. Maybe they're trying to enunciate certain parts of the story, make it appear to be something else. Shining light on the situation, striking a match, lighting the fire, a spark of some sort. Maybe they realized that there was a spark in that garden, even though they thought this person was a garden tool. Someone's being a stick in the mud. They may just say, oh, come on, don't be a stick in the mud with what I was forcing you not to talk. We have a shack here regarding a period of poverty, since it's underneath this dash card. Come on, it wasn't so bad, right? Someone is bald or balding. State of vulnerability. Someone may tell someone, hey, balding's not that bad. Right? This whole construction, this work in progress, this moment in time of poverty, of pill popping, of trying to self-medicate perhaps to get through it all. It wasn't so bad. Don't be a stick in the mud. Come on. Making a deal with the devil. Yeah. They'll probably come in and try to make up, and then they'll want you to make a deal with the devil, trying to gaslight or downplay the experiences that you had. And they'll try to be like, you know, this is what we'll do for you. I know this is what happened. I know someone was pulling the strings as far as your money is concerned, you know, as far as you having to maybe stay in a hotel, and as far as, you know, bringing you to a place of poverty. But that was just a moment in time. Don't be a stick in the mud. It's not that big of a deal. Let's make a deal. Come on. We can work this out. We've got a tractor. Could have something to do with farmland. Plowing the fields. Maybe someone who was voluptuous came in and tried to make a deal by saying, hey, let's plow the fields. We've got farmland here. It's interesting that we've got this tractor and we've got the garden tools, right? And we've got the frog hopping from lily pad to lily pad. Try again. If it doesn't work one way, let's try it another way. We got soda pop. That upsets your stomach, right? You know, if you're having a problem or trying to go potty, then sometimes having a sugary soda might help. Just saying. But something's about to pop here. We got a parade. Someone's going to parade this whole spark. Maybe someone's going to say it proud. I'm in love with this garden tool. I know you said they were a garden tool, but I'm in love with them. Good. Good for you. Love me not. Do they love you back? Someone could be parading this uncertainty around. Maybe someone wants to come in and apologize or make up with you or something, and then someone else is going to come around and parade the fact that they were saying, you know, this is what they thought of you. This is what they were saying. Maybe that's the force to be quiet. Someone was being blackmailed to the fact that they didn't go and say anything to somebody of what they truly thought about the individual or what they were probably made to believe about a certain individual. We've got a raccoon. Someone's being tricky. Someone's trying to manipulate the situation. They're going through the trash. They might be taking something, right? Brought you into a place of poverty. They could be taking something from a Leo. This is the Leo card. So maybe the Pisces and the Virgo were working together against a Leo. Leo is also strength. Someone had a lot of strength when it had to do with going through this construction zone that got out of control, this thievery, putting them in a place of poverty. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. We've got the gesture here. Someone who was juggling things, someone who was paid to distract somebody. Maybe this person who was paid to distract, look, they got, oh, it's underneath the making the deal with the devil. They were paid. They made a deal with the devil, and they were paid by this illusionary master to distract. Playing this temporary game of Red Rover. Maybe someone wanted someone to come over on their side, and they wanted to make it to a point where they had no choice but to accept help or but to make a deal with the devil. All that and a bag of chips. Yummy. I've been on a chip craze lately. Maybe I'm collecting chips, right? Different kinds of chips to put in my piggy bank. I guess the joke's on them with the whole jester thing. When they found out that this person who maybe would have had ties to farmland was actually all that and a bag of chips, and they're trying to wind up the situation so it pops off. This whole illusion is popping off because someone's being wound up. A pelican. You know, pelicans went on the brink of extinction twice. Once because they wanted to use their body for different parts to make purses and pouches, tobacco pouches. They used it for, did I say powder puffs already? I know I'm forgetting something on that. But they literally were taking from the pelican to make things, and the fishermen thought that they were in competition with the pelican taking their fish. It's like, come on, folks, there's plenty of fish for everyone. If we take care of our oceans, mind you. So if someone's in competition and tries to extinct somebody, wind up this efforts to extinct someone from their path, and try to take everything away from them because they were competition. Wow. Maybe someone's bragging about the fact that they did this. Maybe they were hoping that whoever they were doing this to would match energy with them as far as what they were doing. But this person, is it here? Balding, frizzing. I don't see it yet. Bitter. Someone's bitter about the fact that this pelican or this person keeps coming back. They keep resurrecting themselves. They can't get rid of them, and they're bitter about it. They were hoping this person would not be in a place of love. Maybe they were hoping that that would be the outcome in this whole situation. They wanted this person to be a stick in the mud. They're bitter about the situation. We've got the umbrella. Someone is being protected by the elements. Maybe someone is crying, woohoo. Maybe, again, this is the higher levels of the illusionary. But they could be bitter that this person is protected from the elements. Somehow they made it out of being stolen from, poverty. They made it out of, maybe someone tried to put medicine in something or their food or some kind of thing of that nature as well during some time that they spent together. And they were hoping, they were forcing this person not to say anything about it while they were working on something at this hotel. We've got the ladybug coming out lucky. The ladybug cleans up the aphids, the little pests. Aren't they cute when they land on you? It's like, oh, it's supposed to bring good luck. How does this person keep getting lucky? This lion, perhaps. Outcome cards, we've got the Justice, the balancing of the scales, which is a card I was kind of thinking of before. It's like this, they wanted this person to match energy with them. They wanted to match tools with them. They wanted to parade the fact that they were doing this, but things are coming into balance. All we have to do is wait with the waiting card. This is a little dog toy here filled with treats, and the dog sits there and waits patiently to be told that they can go ahead and have these treats. Leave it. Leave it. Okay, go ahead. But we got to wait. We got to wait for the go-ahead from the justice system. We've got the yarn because they're weaving things together. They're connecting the dots, as we were talking about up here. They're creating this huge project, right? Whether it's a scarf or a blanket or an afghan, I guess that's the same, a tapestry. We've got the jerky of something, how it was preserved, dried out. Maybe in regards to how someone was being a jerk. They're mapping out the different locations, the different places. Should we see what the map really wants to say as far as maybe the places that were involved in the map? Let's see how many different places that this kind of, if it was connected to any kind of locations. Should we use, we'll use the passport and the landscapes. How's that? Here's the passports. And do we have any numbers? We've got 6 there, but I don't want to use 6. How about, oh, we've got 4 as well. That makes 10. So let's just pull one card for what the passport, what country did this have to deal with? I was originally thinking 3 because there's only 12 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I need to get 4 more. No, there's only 8. How do you go more than that? I think we should do 2 though, to go from here to there. How about that? It's going to take forever if we do it that way. I'm wondering if I should do little word cards with all the countries on it so that way we could just pull them. I don't know. Put your ideas in the comments after the live is over. Governorates. which has 12 countries. The top tier administration uses these as the governorates as their dividing factors. So those are 12 countries, mostly in the Middle East: Egypt, Iraq, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Bahrain, Jordan, Syria, Tunisia, Oman, Palestine, and Kuwait. I spelled Kuwait wrong. So it has to do with that kind of, that area. Somebody could be from this area. This could be, I mean, I'm thinking that this person maybe on the submarine might have been from one of those places. Someone could be from one of those backgrounds is what I'm trying to say. And then we've got districts. 30 countries like Israel, top level divisions. More, you can go ahead and do Google, because it was late and I wasn't going to list the 30 countries on, trying to listen to Google over and over and over again. So I apologize. So it has to do with, obviously the Middle Eastern countries and Israel, which we also had the Star of David here. So it could have something to do with someone who is Middle Eastern, maybe even Jewish connection. Very interesting. Should we see what kind of area the landscape is? I guess we should do what? Just one of those. Someone's connecting the dots about somebody's family money here. Like, how did you get that money? If you haven't gotten your DNA tested, I highly recommend it. It's very interesting. I found out I have a lot of different, like the majority of countries, land masses, I probably have in my genetics. Minus like Australia, minus Antarctica, things of that nature. Just going to pull one. Oh, we've got two: the rural area and the suburbs area. Farmland, right? In the suburbs. Interesting, interesting, interesting. We've got the tractors there. Super interesting, folks. Should we get our word cards out? I'm not sure if I'm liking this little container. We've got work. Could have something to do with someone's work. Hello. X. We've got X again. X marks the spot. It could be someone with the initial of X somehow. It could be in the title of somebody's work. We've got partner. Maybe they were partners in this. Oh, there's more partners. It could have something to do with AX as well. Maybe they got your work involved. We've got food. Commit. So they're non-committal. Maybe the medicine was in your food. Money is involved. Tea is upside down. They don't want to spill the tea. Maybe someone does not have the T as an initial. Let go. V is upside down. Could also be a caret to include something. Maybe they wanted to include something. Maybe someone with the initial of V, first, middle, or last, or nickname was involved, and now they're excluding themselves from the scenario. Maybe someone was let go at work. We've got TV upside down. Maybe they're let go of the TV. They're not allowed to be on TV anymore, if that was their role. VT, I don't know if that's a word or a symbol of something. 6, we've got our number 6 again, ending with the cards. That's a nice balance to rest on, right? Then I've got my little word cards here. Not so suave. All right, so up here we've got the illusion. On top of the illusion cards, we've got it's not so suave. It was not a smooth transition. Your illusions are just out there. Everyone sees the illusion. You didn't get over on anyone. We've got the wolf upside down on top of the partner. So there's probably a partner involved, someone involved, maybe somewhere here in the justice system that's trying to resolve this situation. They may appear to be a wolf, but they're not. They're actually your friend in this situation. It has to do with some kind of ring. So it's not just the ex, or it's not just the work with the ex in it. It's more than that, who have partnered with these people. Oh, the wolf is your partner, or the non-wolf is your partner. So it's a ring operation. There's more to it than what we're obviously seeing. And then we've got the non-commitment. So it's definitely toward connecting the fact that it's like a ring operations versus just someone wanting to make a commitment here. We've got scream upside down. Someone's like on the verge of wanting to scream because they're totally losing their peace in the matter. We had create upside down. You're not creating this in your head. It's not an illusion. Someone can't create anymore. There was an enchanting touch to the whole situation, and it's kind of over the frog, which is interesting. So it looks like there was some kind of magic involved. No longer a target. Let go of the idea that maybe you were a target in this. Per se is upside down. Per se, kind of like. No, it's not kind of like. It's actually what it is. And then we've got the theme here on top of the frizzy. So the theme is kind of, the frizziness is kind of resolving itself. It's all getting into control. People are looking into it. That is good news. So if we're going to end it there, that's wonderful. Let's go ahead and end it there with the fact that things are coming to light. The person pulling the strings has been exposed. They're going to keep trying, perhaps, to try to get someone to come over to their side of a temporary situation that they were concocting, of thieving something from somebody. It wasn't just their idea. There was a whole conglomerate of, what were we talking about? The networks here who are involved in it, and they're bitter that they couldn't get rid of someone or something. I'm going to show the date and the time just again, 5:04, and the date is the 18th of May, I believe, 2026. With that being said, folks, make it a great day as always. There's something good in every single day as long as you choose it to be. You just have to find it. With that being said, thank you for being here. Make it a great day, as I already said. Take care.